Hello, and welcome to part 3 on the gear checklist. What I'm going to discuss briefly with you today is clothing and what you should be carrying in any type of mountain environment, especially if you're going to be out there going solo. My preferred carry is one thing, but it really should be the standard in any type of mountain environment, and let's go ahead and get to it and I'll explain what I mean. First off, we'll start with what I'm wearing right now. BDUs, standard issue military BDUs. Now, normally I would tell you cotton is a big no-no in the mountain environment. Once it gets wet, it's not going to dry forever, and it's going to suck the heat right from your body, causing you to get hypothermic pretty quickly. So normally cotton is a big no-no. However, if it's not raining, especially in these mountains here, love the standard issue BDUs because they're really tough. Cargo pockets allow you to carry extra gear in your pockets, no matter whether that's small items or even food or whatever the case may be. The boots that I'm wearing right now, guys, don't mess around with tack boots. If you're going to be carrying a load for miles up in the mountains and you're going to go solo, you're going to tear your feet up. They're not going to provide you with the ankle support and real arch support and everything that you need in a good boot in that kind of terrain, especially the terrain here in the Pacific Northwest where it's very thick, heavily overgrown, a lot of underbrush, very rugged, and you need boots that are going to support the pack that you're carrying on your back. And lightweight tactical boots are just not the way to go. These right here, what I personally have on, are Scarpas. Great backpacking / leather mountaineering boots. They're not crampon compatible soles, but I don't use step-in crampons when I'm mountaineering anyway. Strap-ons are the only way to go, and that's perfect on these boots. However, we're not talking about mountaineering. We're talking about a good burly pair of leather boots that's waterproof. Keep in mind you got to take care of the leather, but it's going to get you through everything. They're tough, they can take it. Go with something good there. Socks. Wool socks only, or a wool nylon blend is fine. Stay away from cotton, it's just a bad idea. Now, on that subject of cotton, like I said, cotton is normally a bad idea. You don't really want to go with cotton in the mountain environment. Stick with your nylon type fibers, polyesters and whatnot. They are fairly water resistant, and even if they do get wet, they're going to dry quickly, and that's very, very important. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on with what I have right here. This should be your standard carry in any type of mountain environment, like I said, especially in a wetter environment like the Pacific Northwest here, or really in any high mountain environment where you might have to deal with wet and cold. Alright, starting from this end first, besides the socks that I have on my feet, which are wool socks and a lighter weight, carry a heavier weight pair of wool socks. These being Wigwam, they are mostly a wool with a blend with a little bit of nylon in there, but they're good heavy duty thick socks for cold weather. Carry a pair of these. For my hands, I had frostbite years ago from a mountaineering trip that I was on during the winter time where, and I'm not going to get into details how that happened, but I ended up getting a case of frostbite. Once that happens, my hands get cold real easy. My hands are very important to me. If your fingers go numb and your hands go numb, they become nothing but useless paddles. You might as well have flippers. So I carry 2 sets of gloves. One is a lightweight set of gloves. They're just fleece, good as long as you're active and you're keeping your core body temperature up. These will keep your hands warm. Now, if I need to go with a thicker, waterproof set of gloves, I'm going to go with these right here. They're just your standard. They're actually a tactical type of glove made by Kinko. Waterproof, thicker, insulated, good gloves. These are going to do me. Don't have to really carry my mountaineering gloves or anything like that for a solo wilderness trek, survival situation, whatever the case may be. Good gloves. 2 pair. A bandana. Always carry a bandana. Considering it doesn't take up any space and it certainly doesn't weigh anything, a bandana is going to provide you everything from something to keep the sweat off of your forehead, to tie around your head, your neck, the back of your neck underneath your hat, like you might have seen in a couple of my previous videos, to keep the insects from munching on the back of your neck, sun protection on the back of your neck, a tourniquet if it came down to it. It's just worth carrying a bandana. You can even use it as a towel too. Anyway, So, head protection as far as insulation. Always have insulation for your head. 70 to 80% of your body heat will escape right out through the top of your head, no matter how you may be bundled up for your core body temperature to keep that warm. If you don't have head protection, your body heat's going to go right out through the top of your head and you are going to get cold. I like to carry two. In case I get sweaty, this is a lighter type of polypropylene material. I'll normally wear this one if I find myself in a lot of activities where I'm building up too much sweat. And sweat's a factor. You want to keep the sweat factor down. In really super cold environments like here in the wintertime, you sweat, you're dead, unless you can take care of it quickly. That's why I like to carry two. It's just worth it to me to carry two hats. This is the lighter one. The next one would be your standard issue military watch cap. 100% wool. These things are great. Even if they get wet, it's wool. It's going to keep your body heat in. You can't go wrong. Protect your head. Keep your head warm. A good hat for sun protection. I like the military issue sun cap. I used to call it a floppy hat, jungle hat, whatever. These are great. They breathe well because they got the breathe holes on the side. Plus, it's good sun protection to keep the sun out of your eyes in case you are either not wearing shades or you lost your shades. Doesn't really matter. It keeps the sun off your forehead as well. Carry a good hat. All right, moving on now to base layers and what you need to keep yourself insulated and warm, and being also able to change out of that in case the sweat factor becomes involved. And that's why I like to carry not really necessarily two of everything, but two of some really essential items that are really important to keep you alive. So let's go ahead and start with the underwear shirts. These are about a medium weight. These are fine. I have my ECWs, which are military issues, stands for extreme cold weather. Those are thicker. They're also bulkier and they take up more space in my pack, and I really don't need to carry those. These right here are made by a company called Paradox. They're 100% nylon, polypropylene type of mix, I guess, and really good. They work really well. Great for your core body temperature, which is the most important part of your body to keep warm. Your legs aren't that as much of a factor, guys, but you got to keep your core body temperature warm if you want to stay alive in cold conditions. Now, the reason why I carry two, they're just two different colors, exact same shirt, long sleeve. The reason I carry two is just in case I do build up too much sweat and I've got to pull out of something like this. If I'm only carrying one, then that's all I have to put back on, and it might not be dry. It's nice to be able to reach into my pack and pull out another dry shirt to put on. Trust me, it's worth carrying the couple extra ounces and a little bit of space it's going to take up in your pack. Your core body temperature, always keep that in mind. You've got to keep warm or you'll keep dead. All right. So now as far as my legs are concerned for insulation, once again, made by Paradox. Love this company. They really put out a good product. These are great not only as an underwear, long underwear that's going to keep me insulated underneath my shell pants, but in cold conditions, obviously, wet conditions, which up here are cold conditions. But I can also just wear these as sweats. So they're great. They serve a double purpose. I really don't feel a need to carry two sets of these. I could if I wanted to, but like I said, it's not so much your legs you have to worry about. Your legs are some of the toughest parts of your body as far as generating heat. They kind of generate their own heat. It's your core body temperature from your waist to your head that's the most important part to keep warm. That's what you need to consider. That's the part that you really need to keep dry and warm. So, but these are great. Definitely make sure you got some good underwear, both tops as well as bottom. Now, for layering purposes, when it comes to insulation and warmth, carry a fleece, guys. This is a Marmot 200 Polartec fleece. Great fleece jacket. You should definitely be carrying one of these, at least Polartec 200 weight. This is your insulator underneath your shell jacket, which is going to keep you warm and keep you alive and keep your core body temperature up. Make sure that this doesn't get wet, because if it does get wet, the only problem with fleece is it soaks up water like a sponge and it takes a long time to dry out. So you definitely want to carry this. You want to carry a good fleece jacket, no question about it. If you think that there is any question about it, or if you don't agree with me, then you probably shouldn't be going up in the mountains, because that will probably be the last time we see you, especially in cold conditions. Alright, now what do I use for my shell jacket? I have a lighter shell jacket, which is a Marmot Predator jacket. Fantastic jacket, love it. Put it through a lot of use. Got to re-waterproof it again. As far as insulation, your shell is not your insulator. Your shell is to keep the water and moisture and the weather off you. Water, wind. This is the new military issue, standard military issue field jacket. Waterproof, has a full coverage hood that tucks back in here in the collar. Great hood, super good waterproofing. What I like about it also is big pockets in the front, and it also has pockets on the sleeves so I can carry extra gear. Super tough. They put extra padding here on the elbows. Super tough, breathable, waterproof. Breathability, that's another point. You want breathable material, something that's going to breathe. It's also got pit zips. Make sure you get a shell jacket that has pit zips and use them. When you're active and you're hiking with your pack, open up those pit zips, because if you don't, all you're going to do is generate moisture inside of there. And because it's a waterproof jacket, breathable is one thing, but it's not going to be that breathable. You're going to build up sweat, you're going to be sorry, you're going to get cold. Alright, so my shell pants. These are your standard Gore-Tex. These are made by Mountain Hardwear. Love their gear. These would be my standard mountaineering pants if I was going for, like, say, a Mount Hood summit, which is right here in our backyard. Living here in Portland, Oregon, I've climbed it many times, but I'll digress. For backpacking purposes, solo purposes, whatever, if you meet up with rain, you need to carry rain gear. Super lightweight, isn't highly compressible. It's not going to take up much room in your pack. Make sure you carry this. Like I said, cotton. Cotton kills. This is going to keep you alive. Gaiters. You don't necessarily have to go with gaiters, but let me tell you something. All right, and what you're looking at here, these are the Outdoor Research Rocky Mountain gaiters, knee-high, nylon, super tough, very, very durable, waterproof, and once they're on and they go over the top of my boots here, not only does this help keep out all moisture, but it keeps everything else out. Nothing is going to get down my boots because I have the gaiters on. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to carry gaiters or wear them, but carry them anyway. They're worth their weight in gold, and they really don't weigh anything. Okay, so that pretty much covers it. This is my standard carry. It's not that much, but this right here is going to get me through anything that Mother Nature can dish out weather-wise. I'm going to stay dry. I'm going to stay warm. I'm going to stay alive. All right.